One question that's on a lot of people's minds this morning is, do I have to go watch Anora now? This movie just won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. But statistically, most of you have not seen it. It made like $40 million at the box office. So what I can tell you is that this film was made by a guy named Sean Baker, and he makes extremely dark comedies. So dark that a lot of people don't recognize them as comedies. And what people love about his films is that when the movie starts, it's not at all clear what it's about or where it's going. So if you're uncertain, without spoiling too much, I can say that Anora is about this young dancer who gets together with this wealthy young Russian heir. They just hang out for what seems like a lot of the movie, and then a certain thing happens and chaos ensues. I sometimes will refer to a film as being structured like an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And people think I mean that in a negative way, and I absolutely do not. Writing chaos is hard. And in fact, if you are an aspiring writer or an aspiring screenwriter or filmmaker, watch Anora and pay close attention. Because what Sean Baker is doing here comes with a very high degree of difficulty, which is you have characters feeling very complex emotions, but the characters are incapable of expressing them. Like, some people who've seen this movie are shocked that it won Best Original Screenplay, because so much of the dialogue is just people screaming at each other while running from place to place. And people tend to think that an award-winning screenplay should be one where the characters give big, beautiful monologues to each other. Like in the movie A Real Pain, where Jesse Eisenberg basically looks at the camera and talks for several minutes, just laying out all of the film's themes and his own character's emotions and his relationships. And I personally think that kind of thing is bad writing, or at least it's easy writing. Sean Baker intentionally writes about people who are not educated or eloquent. They're not writers, they're not poets. His previous film was called Red Rocket, and I actually think it's a better film than Anora. It's up on streaming too. And it's the same deal. It is a chaotic film about a bunch of people who have complicated lives but do not have the words to explain what's going on. And like Anora, when you start watching this film, it's not at all clear what you're watching. And then soon you start to say, oh, okay, it's kind of a dark comedy, but then it becomes a horror movie. And it's another film about the incomprehensible damage that an oblivious, thoughtless, selfish person can do to everyone around them. And people who desperately want something better from their lives, but have no idea how to get it. But because of who they are and who they have to present themselves as, can never just come out and say that.